Come on.
Zoom, zoom.
No, boogity, boogity, boogity. I wanted to hear you do it, Caitlin.
For NASCAR drivers and crew members, the season is a lot like a traveling circus, going from town to town, putting on a show, then packing up to hit the road, do it all over again.
Yeah, it is an interesting lifestyle, especially for a father with 2 young children like Aric Almirola, who gave us some behind-the-scenes access in Las Vegas to find out what race day is like for him.
What's for breakfast, man?
Smithfield bacon, you know it.
Of course, right?
What else?
It's not just what's for breakfast, it's also the primary sponsor for the number 10 Ford of Aric Almirola, not to mention the perfect start to race day.
When do you have to put your, I don't know if it's a game face or maybe it's a race face. I like that better. When do you put your race face on?
Usually for me, it's between the driver's meeting and the driver introduction. And then once the driver's meeting is over, I usually have about 1 hour before we go out on stage and get introduced to the crowd. And that hour is usually time for me. I'll have a real light lunch. And then, you know, I've got some quiet time to kind of focus. I go over some notes with my crew chief, coming up with a plan for the race, and then just have some quiet, just calmness before the storm.
If you've ever been a guy that sits behind a desk from 9 to 5, could you ever imagine yourself doing that?
Absolutely not. I grew up, my grandfather owned an auto body shop, so I grew up always at the auto body shop, you know, working on cars, being outside.
I'm going to tell you something you don't know. You ready?
I'm ready.
So last week in Atlanta, brought my 16-year-old son to the race, and he said, "May I stop and get a picture?" And you stopped and smiled, and that meant a lot to him. And that was a really cool moment for him. Tell me what that's like. I mean, because I know you get pulled all the time, and one bad interaction, and they're like, "That guy's a jerk," you know?
And I try to not be that guy. I'm glad that your son, you know, stopped me, and we got a picture and an autograph, and I'm glad that I didn't disappoint him. And there are times, like I said, if we're late to driver intros, we have to start last. If we're late to the driver's meeting, we have to start last. So there are some things that are time sensitive where we're in a major hurry, but I would say for me, 99% of the time, if a fan stops me, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to sign an autograph for him. And you would never get that from Tom Brady or Matt Ryan or any of those guys, you know, moments before walking out on the field, but you can here at a NASCAR race.
Check on that bacon.
I'm pretty sure the bacon is burnt.
You know, you talk about being in shape and being healthy, but protein's important too, right?
It is. Yeah, I've got probably the best sponsor on the circuit for making sure that I stay well fed and have good protein in my system. So Smithfield does a great job of promoting the sport and being a partner of mine and our race team at Stewart Haas Racing, and they keep us well fed. We've always got bacon and ham and pork chops and all the different things that they make on the motorhome, traveling with us from circuit to circuit. So I don't ever go hungry. I can promise you that.
Can I try some?
You can. Get after it.
This is your way.
This is my way. I'm not.
Aric Almirola's way.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. You made this?
I did.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this right here. It's good bacon.
Bacon with Buck. Just saying, Smithfield. Almirola finished 7th yesterday at Texas Motor Speedway. He is currently in 5th place in the Monster Energy Cup point standings.